Best Philomena Cunk Moments.
Who are you?
I'm Ian Borden. I'm a professor of architecture at University College London.
What is a building?
A building is anything that anyone has built.
So my shoes are a building. How many three wise men?
What did she say? What's a building? A building is something anyone has built. It can be anything. So my shoe is a building. I mean, if you're living in a shoe, but then again, maybe for mice a shoe is a building, right? Like maybe some mice live in shoes, so it's like a house or something, right? I love this.
So my shoes are a building. How many three wise men were there?
Who knows?
Oh.
And
I don't understand bread sauce.
It's a great way of making a really savoury sauce.
Bread and sauce are two completely different things, aren't they?
Well, they are, but you can grind the bread down and then cook it in milk to make a really good sauce.
It just looks like sort of cheers.
When Henry died, Edward became king. Aged just...
That guy's face. Let's have a look at his face. Like, look at this. Like, he's lost for words. Like, he doesn't... Like, he's like... I don't know what to say to this.
When Henry died, Edward became king, aged just 9 years old.
Edward died aged 15. The youngest anyone had ever died of old age.
Okay.
When you teach your kids Shakespeare, do their heads grow physically bigger?
No.
Why would
It's
it?
comforting, isn't it, to realise we don't have nuclear weapons these days?
Well, it depends who you mean by we. The British have got nuclear weapons and have recently indeed decided to increase the number of warheads that they possess.
Yep, yeah, but they're blanks, aren't they? They're full of blanks.
No, not at all. No. These are fully capable missile systems with nuclear warheads. Many other states have them.
Now she
I'm
looks
afraid that
concerned.
nuclear war and the threat of nuclear destruction remains very much with us.
Is she crying? Wow.
Right, can we talk about something a bit more cheerful?
Anything you like.
Wow.
Do you like ABBA?
I love ABBA.
Yeah. When a feminist looks in the mirror, do they see an equal woman or
was
a
weird.
better woman?
They quite often, like all of us, look for what they want to see and they look for what they hope to see.
You see yourself back to front, don't you, in a mirror? But not upside down. Why is that?
Well, hopefully, because that's the way that mirrors are designed.
What power's a mirror? Sorry, you're not the mirrors expert, are you? And to add insult to injury, that money...
She just roasted her at the end. So what power's a mirror? You're not the mirror. Like, what I love so much about, like, Philomena Cunk is how she just, like, randomly says something and it just leaves people, like, speechless. Like, she can talk all serious about some topic and just out of nowhere she just says something that's, like, either completely mind-blowing or it completely roasts someone or something. Like, I freaking love this. It's so funny.
Most likely have a picture of a man on it, because most banknotes don't have women on them, apart from the Queen, who's on all of them.
Oh,
Maybe
yeah.
one day, human beings won't need buildings anymore. Although, for that to happen, we'd probably need to evolve skins made of bricks. And that might take at least another 30 years.
What?
But Beth is startled at dinner by the unexpected appearance of Banquo's ghost, played here for some reason by the letter H.
Which of you have done this?
What?
But what was so great about Henry VIII? Why is he the king we all still remember, unlike, say, Richard V? Well, for one thing, he was fat, so he takes up more room in the memory.
You know, it's like interesting. Back in my school days, I actually asked a teacher this question, like, why on so many paintings and history books, like, the women and the men look quite chubby? And especially, like, those that were, like, wealthier or aristocrats or, like, I don't know, like, princes and stuff. And my teacher actually said back in school that, back in the day in school, that So if you were like chubby back in the day, that was a sign of you're doing well in life, like well-being, because that means you can eat a lot, so you can afford a lot of food. That means you're wealthy if you're chubby or something. So this was like, yeah, like showing off, like, hey, I'm chubby and I'm rich, and those that are skinny, they are poor, or something like that. This is actually kind of weird. Like, they had different beauty designs, and yeah, like back in the day, like everyone wanted to be chubby, but a lot of people couldn't be. And now it's like the opposite. We have like freaking gyms everywhere, right? Like there are even like letters, like advertisements that sometimes even here in my neighborhood, like people throw into the post box, like, oh, hey, you get 20% off for 1 month at the gym for membership, or 1 month for free and stuff like that. Like, it is insane, like how like things have changed over the couple of hundreds of years, right?
Unlike, say, Richard V. Well, for one thing, he was fat, so he takes up more room in the memory.
So the Andromeda Galaxy is going to hit us.
The Andromeda Galaxy? A whole galaxy is going to hit us?
Yeah. On about the same time scale, actually.
So could we fall down a black hole?
Yeah, you could fall into one.
Is that the same? Because I heard that you could be, if, you know, this is one way that the world could end, is that we're all just sucked off through a hole. I mean, that must be terrible. Can you imagine what it would feel like to be sucked off through a hole?
Yeah.
Back in Queen Victorian times, women weren't allowed to vote, even though we had a female king. So some women formed a gang called the suffragettes. 1 in 20 people has been a victim of crime, which means that 19 out of 20 people are criminals.
Wow.
No wonder we need police.
She got something wrong
Over
here.
the centuries, many things have been used as money, including amber, wheat, eggs, travellers' checks.
That's actually true. Now everything is either in like pounds, in euros, in US dollars, in I don't know, other currencies like the yuan in China. But back in the day, like people would just have like, they would purely trade in stuff like even diamonds, gold. Sometimes they will like buy stuff with food. Like, hey, I give you 10 pounds of wheat if you give me, I don't know, this piece of cake or whatever. Like, it was insane what people used to trade with. But yeah, this is actually true. Like, this has been confirmed.
Travellers' checks, feathers, book vouchers, lobsters, beads, gold,
Lobsters.
leather, nectar points,
Gold was popular,
rice,
actually.
peas, mugs and money. It was only the last of these that caught on.
About rice. I saw a documentary in ancient Japan. There were like farmers that were trading with like others with rice, actually. This is actually like true.
Almost unbelievable that before Charles Darwin invented evolution in 1859, no one had ever evolved. Without him, none of us would be here today.
Was a carnivorous plant, right?
Or gibbons. This is the National Theatre. It's designed to look so horrible that people are glad to be inside watching boring plays. Today, Britain stands at
That makes sense.
crossroads.
So they made it ugly on purpose, so you're glad once you're inside because you no longer have to look at it. Yo, I love the way she like roasts people, buildings and all that kind of stuff, and she does it in such a serious way. Like, I have not seen her smile or laugh a single time. I feel like to be a comedian like that without like smiling like this must be so tough. For me, like, I can make good jokes, but sometimes I end up laughing at my own jokes. Like, this is why I probably could not become a real comedian or so. I have to train myself to not smile or laugh at all when I crack jokes.
Britain stands at a fork
It's
in
tough.
its crossroads.
It's very tough.
And its people are asking questions. Now we've got our country back. What actually is it? Who are we? And why? You know when you read a word in a book and you sort of hear that word in your head? How do they get the sounds into the ink to make it play in your head?
Wait, what?
Well,
She wrote, "The world to an end will come in 1881, a claim which has recently been debunked by experts through a careful process of looking around and seeing the world still here.
Yes.
Today, some people choose to turn
Obviously.
the outside of their homes into a giant advent crown.
A jolly house covered in electric lights may be expensive and use a lot of power, but it's the perfect...
You know what's like interesting? We have like a whole street here in my neighborhood where people actually really decorate it like that if it's like Christmas time. And there was once a house, and I like there was like a whole street, like the electricity was out, so like all the buildings, they had no more light. And I sometimes believed it was this one building that during Christmas had so many lights and so much decoration that this took just so much electricity that like the whole street had like some sort of issue, like a short circuit or something, and then like everything just freaking went off. Like the whole street was dark suddenly, and I'm sure it was because they used so many lights.
But it's the perfect way to cheer up a world worried about climate change
Yes.
and dwindling resources.
Queen Elizabeth I got a crown screwed
Overwarming
on
happened.
here in Westminster Abbey.
I wonder if this year they actually put so many lights there too.
It was in this ship Drake
Wow. She just walked. Was it actually on purpose or not? Like, I'm trying to see now. She did look at the ground though, right? Didn't she? It's like her head is like a little down, right?
It was in this ship Drake became the first person to circumcise the globe, which is probably why this sort of ship is called a clipper.
Wow.
People genuinely believed witches were amongst them, their fear fueled by leaked photos like this. Did an explorer ever try to sail into the sky? You know, find a bit of sea that's sort of going up and...
Huh?
No.
We're often told to feel sorry
What?
for those who are alone at Christmas. But these days, that's all of us, and it's brilliant. Why did Nelson always have one hand up his jumper? What was he doing up there?
He'd lost most of his right arm, so
The pagans celebrated the solstice by cutting down holly and ivy and dragging it into their homes, along with a giant Yule log which they'd set fire to. It
Wow.
sounds rubbish, but with no app store to speak of, killing trees and plants was as good as entertainment got, even at Christmas.
Like, hey, we have no other entertainment. Let's just freaking cut down trees and stuff. Yeah, this... Actually, those are like druids, and they are harvesting something, right? Like, that looks like some sort of druid or something.
And dragging it into their homes, along with a giant Yule log which they'd set fire to. It sounds rubbish, but with no app store to speak of, killing trees and plants was as good as entertainment got, even at Christmas.
Wow.
Despite being the stuff of nightmares, Santa is the world's most popular home intruder. But at Christmas 1914, there was a brief ceasefire. The fighting stopped.
Soldiers got out of their holes and joined together in a place called No Man's Land, showing that even at moments of peace, men will still divide into two sides and try to beat one another.
Oh no, that's not good. Yo, that was really, really funny. But some of those like replies or like answers, like, I feel like they had also a hard time staying serious, answering her or reacting to her. I wonder like how often they had to refilm this, like each scene, right? Like, I feel like some of those scenes, they took like 5-6 attempts to be like recorded without like smiling or laughing in it. Yo, that's interesting. I think we should check out another one. Like, this is very, very funny. Yo, yeah, the Santa Claus is like the best like freaking thief or something. Like, just freaking getting into every house through a chimney and stuff. But what if a house doesn't have a chimney? There's such houses too. At least we have those without a chimney here. Yo, that was funny. Yeah, if you guys are new to this channel, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more content. And if you want me to check out another one, let me know in the comment section. Like, this was really, really funny. I love like how she sometimes roasts people. And then with the building, like, this was such a brilliant question. Like, what's a building? Like, a building can be anything that someone has built, right? So, are my shoes a building? That was so good. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this one a thumbs up. I will see you guys next time.